Yes, Jamaican, they back on it again, I touched down in a Guyana right here now. The Jamaicans are coming. That's according to a news on the 17th of January 2020. We know we're not 21. So let me bust the shot now. If it's the first time on my channel, don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. This week disclosure that a delegation comprised representative of 16 Jamaican companies will be visiting Guyana later this month to pursue what has been described a mutual beneficial business opportunity is a development of note that ought not to be allowed to pass without public comment. The first thing that we should be said is that this is probably the largest ever Jamaican business delegation to Guyana in recent memory, perhaps even in our entire history. The fact, too, that there are 16 companies that will be representative in that delegation sent an unmistakable signal that the Jamaican business community, arguably the most mature and experienced in the Caribbean, sees myriad opportunities for the deepening of relation with Guyana. These are evidently tied to Guyana's newfound status as a world-class oil producer. No less significant is the fact that it is Georgetown Chambers of Commerce and Industry, GCCI, that will be hosting the Jamaicans. And here has been said that while the Jamaican team will be here looking for business opportunity, the engagement will also afford the GCCI an opportunity to enhance in its own domestic and external profile. Given what we know to be a high regard in which the Jamaican business community is held here in the region and in the United States, in a sense, the visit could well amount to a kind of coming of age for our local chambers of commerce, which over the years have experienced peak and drought in its performance. Then, there is the further signal sent by this visit that the advent of oil and gas as an economic factor has raised the profile of Guyana within the CARICOM. Time was not too long ago where our country, regional and international business profile would have been unlikely to attract a visit from what it would seem well be a weighty delegation from Kingston. Whether we acknowledge it or not, there has always existed within CARICOM a kind of jockeying for position, an unspoken rival for the premier profile in the region. The state of the representative economic and the success of business sector being the barometer with which to determine the rating. Trinidad and Tobago, with its petrodollars, and Barbados, with its successful tourism sector, had sustained high profiles. Jamaica, through the sheer industry of its business sector, its repeated success in penetrating difficult United States market, attracting outside investment, and building highly successful enterprise in North America has, however, maintained the highest profile of all. Guyana, as it's generally known, had over the time come to see as a regional underachiever. Oil and gas, it would seem, promised to interfere with the peaking order and the impending visit here by the Jamaican delegation, which would have been preceded by a putting together of heads among some of the shrewdest business brains in the region, pointing to an acknowledgement that Guyana is heading in the direction of reposition itself in that peak order. We are told that the GCCI has already notified its member that one of the objectives of the visit is to foster collaborative business relationship and to promote neutral growth and development opportunities for the Jamaicans and the Guyanese economic through the increased trade and commerce. The open-endedness of description of the delegation mission is to more than sufficient to cause informed analysts to conclude that this visit seeks to paint with a broad brush and that it would mark an indefinite or a definite turning point on the business relationship between Guyana and Jamaica. A circumstances which is more than likely to turn heads in the region, given the successful international track record of Jamaica business community. At this junction, there is the considerable likelihood that several other CARICOM territories will have their businessmen and women follow first Trinidad and Tobago and now Jamaica into Guyana. Truth be told that there has been an interlude in intra-CARICOM relationship that have been soured by ill will, and Guyana has been at the unfortunate end of less than good treatment in some countries in the region. The reality is, however, that our own historic role in the creation of CARICOM holds us up high standard and if our considerable good fortune can be shared with the region to which we are tied to by history, custom, and culture, then why not? After all, as a nation, we're not big enough, aren't we? This is out of the news from between the CARICOM countries, and as you know, realize that Guyana is an oil country, and sending over delegations, they are looking up to Jamaica, as well as I suppose Jamaicans are also looking up to the Guyanese, and they look up to Jamaica as a positive and a successful business partner, and that Jamaica has a really high representation when it comes to business ventures. Though Jamaica has not much market in the United States and other countries, but in the Caribbean, it seems to be Jamaica is on top. Why I'm going through this is that a lot of Jamaicans, businessmen in Jamaica, have found another way of making money and not realizing that their terms of making money is not something that really make an opportunity in Jamaica worthwhile or worth the while. When according to Guyana, they're no less significant in the fact that their commerce, that's the Georgetown Chambers of Commerce and Industry, they're hosting Jamaicans. And while Jamaican tea will come here looking for business opportunity, the engagement will afford the GCCI an opportunity to enhance its domestic and external profile. Jamaica has potential in doing business. And I touch this because I realize that we talk about our crime rate and all that, but we never really get down into the fact that we also is a business country. A little island, but it has potential in the business factor. And I just want to hear some of your views on this. Other Caribbean island looks to Jamaica the same way Jamaica looked to other Caribbean islands. And according to Guyana, we are one people, not just what you call it, being on our separate side of the planet and they are on the separate side of the planet. We have a mixed culture that entwine all Caribbean islands together. And Guyana did not look down and say that they are better. They said, after all, as a nation, We are big enough, aren't we? They ask a question. My viewers and subscriber, tell me what you think about this. This is an old thing I found from 2020, but it's relevant for those in the business sector who wants to engage as entrepreneurs in business and would like to venture out on other Caribbean islands. So take the cue. Search upon the Caribbean islands that have business ventures and business opportunity. It's not always the United States of America or Great Britannia. Other Caribbean islands can also be of value as we be of value to them. And so, therefore, search out in the Caribbean and see what is there that we can come together, a mutual beneficial business opportunity. Once again, this is JCon TV saying unto each and every one of us, walk in peace, my friend. Shalom.